We actually have a new patch coming in for monster skill balancing now, because they said that they were going to be adding a lot of what you would say new content with the Rift dungeons, and of course with the live PvP coming in. People thought that they weren't going to do another monster skill balancing, but they're doing one, and they just added it literally like less than an hour ago. And I saw it, someone sent me a picture, said something about Faye, but I have not looked yet. So we're going to go over it together, guys. So let's go ahead and look. Pre-notice monster skill balancing changes and improvements. Thank you, come to us. I love these. I love seeing monsters get buffed and nerfed accordingly based on, you know, how good they are or how bad they are, because it helps balance the game. But more than that, even if it's a monster that I don't have, it's just interesting because it's new, right? So let's go over it. Fairy King, wind and light one. Thank you. The wind light one needs a buff, or the wind one needs a buff. Ventilate cooldown decreased by 1 turn, 5 turns down to 4. So if I have my phone here, but I don't have it on the screen. If we go ahead and go to the Fairy King, his Ventilate is his second skill. That's a pretty big cooldown, guys. So that should be pretty good, actually. That should be pretty decent. His second skill gets 1 cooldown, so it's a 4-turn cooldown. Now it's going to go down to 3 turns maxed out. So that second skill is going to be a maxed out 3-turn skill. Fairy King Fire, damage increased by 20%, cooldown decreased by 1 turn. I'm assuming that's his second skill or his third one. I have it right here. We can pull that up as well. It is indeed his third skill. Okay. That one definitely needed a buff. And then the wind one, again, is getting, additional effect. Ignores enemy monsters' effect resistance. Okay, I don't know if this is supposed to say that it can't be resisted, or if it means that it just ignores any resistance the monster has, and it says it has like 15% resistance. You know, I guess we'll see. I'll test them out once the buff comes out. Alright. Polar Queen, Water, Wind, and Dark. Storm of Midnight, the AoE one, right? The one that Tiana has. Increases damage proportionate to the enemy's attack speed. I'm pretty sure that's already how it was. The Fire Polar Queen. Finally, Brandia. Definitely needed a buff. Holy shit. Touch of Mercy removes up to 2 harmful effects on the target after the attack. They're switching it. Puts the target to sleep for 2 turns after the attack. I guess that's alright. I mean, the removing 2 harmful effects was annoying as hell. But the putting him to sleep will be okay, because no one really cares for sleep as much. But that should be okay. Decent enough. At least it's the removing the 2 harmful effect thing, because that was annoying as hell. Dark Polar Queen, Inject Darkness, changed effect, applies a branding effect for 2 turns when attacking the enemy, and they changed it to recovers the ally's HP by the amount that's proportionate to your attack power that reflects 30% of the received damage of all. Alright, I'm gonna have to read that again. That's a really big one. So, okay. Her Inject Darkness, right? I have her pulled up currently. The Dark Polar Queen, which is, what's her name again? Lydia, right? Alright, I have her pulled up. Her Touch of Darkness, or Inject Darkness, attacks the enemy to inflict great damage and leaves a cursing brand for 2 turns. They're changing that. So it recovers the ally's HP by the amount that's proportionate to your attack power and reflects 30% of the received damage of all allies back to the attacker for 2 turns. So instead of doing branding, it's going to be like a heal for your team, and then it basically reflects any damage that you received, and it doesn't matter if it's like current. It's not like one of those reflecting damage things. It's like, oh, we received that much damage, now we're going to give it back to you. 30% of that. That should be interesting. And maybe, I don't know if it has to deal with like how much you received before you heal, or just in the total match. Because if it's in the total match, and it doesn't have a cap, that could be very, 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 very... Yeah, that could be a slippery slope there. Because that could end up being really, really game-changing. I guess we'll have to see. I'm going to assume that it's based on how much you've lost, and that healing it back will lower the damage. But... okay, so the Kung Fu Girl Water, Shadowless Kick to Twist Kick. Kung Fu Girl Fire, Shadowless Kick to Twist Kick. Kung Fu Girl Shadowless, or Twist Kick to Shadowless Kick. So basically they're just switching the attacks back and forth. So, you know, if you guys want me to read it out, attacks the enemy 2 times with swift kicks to remove 1 beneficial effect. That is the Shadowless Kick. But now it's going to do attacks the target with a turning kick and decreases its attack bar by 50%. Okay? So that's how the Water, Fire, and Wind are doing. All of the Kung Fu Girls, their first skill reduces the enemy's defense for 1 turn with a 50% chance. Oh, the Dark Kung Fu Girl is going to be so OP, and I have her. Oh my god. Okay, so Kung Fu Girl, Water, Fire, and Light. Ooh, gosh, the Kung Fu Girls are gonna be so good now. Holy shit. I know the water and the dark ones are still good, and the light one's pretty good too, but damn, now they do defense break on the first skill? Holy shit. Alright, their twist kick decreases enemies' attack speed for 2 turns with an 80% chance. Oh my god. That's pretty good too. Oh man. Kung Fu Girl. Okay, so wait. They changed the water Kung Fu Girl so she no longer removes a beneficial effect. Hold on, I just noticed that. That is bad. Because now people that use the water Kung Fu Girl for Dragon Speed 10 can no longer use her there. That sucks. That really sucks. Oh, that really sucks. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, the twist kick, they changed it. Kung Fu Girl, Wind and Dark. Shadowless kick, the one where you remove the beneficial effect. Removes the beneficial effect with a 75% chance. They're changing it to a 100% chance. That is nice. Now, so I have the Dark Kung Fu Girl. I pull her up right here. Okay, it's a 75% chance to remove the beneficial effect for 2 hits. But now it's a 100% chance. So now she's basically testing RNG twice, and she only needs to land it once, which is super convenient. So now the Dark Kung Fu Girl is going to be even more OP against stuff like Theomars. Oh my gosh. Kung Fu Girl, Water Dragon Attack. Stuns the enemy with a 30% chance. They're changing it to increases the inflicted damage by 20% for each harmful effect of the enemy. I don't know if they're adding it or they're changing it. I'm pretty sure they're changing it, because like when they're adding something, they just have it like, oh, this is increased, or this is increased, or additional effect, right? But if it's like an arrow, it's like, oh, it's going from this to this. So it's definitely that they're changing it. So they're changing it to increases the inflicted damage by 20% for each harmful effect of the enemy, instead of stunning. Kung Fu Girl, Fire Dragon Attack. Silences the enemy for 1 turn. They're changing it to elongates a harmful effect on the enemy by 1 turn with a 50% chance. That could be decent. I mean, against like a single target boss, it could be decent. Could be. Because the silence is kind of pointless on the Fire Kung Fu Girl. And now she does defense break on her first skill. And she reduces the attack speed. Holy shit. This could be a Necromonster. This could be a Necromonster. The Fire one could be a Necromonster, potentially. She could be Necro. If there's a defense breaking 3rd skill on any of these Kung Fu Girls, they could be Necro as well, because they got defense break on 1st skill. They got slowness on the 2nd skill. What do they need after that? That's pretty much it that you need for the Necro boss. That's it. And their 1st and 2nd skill connect. There's a chance that the 1st skill will go and link with the 2nd skill. And they have a chance to revenge, built-in revenge on their passive skills. Holy shit. That's fucking crazy. Okay, that's the Kung Fu Girl's got a major buff. Holy shit. Kung Fu Girl, Wind Dragon Attack. Removes a beneficial effect with a 50% chance. They're changing it to a 100% chance. So now the Kung Fu Girl is like a randomized buff removal monster. Okay. Interesting. Light Dragon Knight definitely needed a buff. King's Rage, passive. Increases the attack power by 20% when the ally is under inability effects or defeated. Accumulates up to 10 times. Increases the attack power by 50%. So they're changing it. Increases the attack power by 50%. Accumulates up to 5 times. So basically all they're doing here, they're not really like buffing it, like where it's more attack power. They're just making it faster. So it only has to happen 5 times for the max amount, as opposed to the 10 times. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. It's now up to a total of 250% attack power, whereas before it could only go up to 200%. So it'd be 20% 10 times, right? Where now it's 50% 5 times. You guys can do basic algebra. Pierrette, water. So now the water Pierrette, all the Pierrettes are getting damage increases. So freezing shot, 10% increase. Flame shot, 10% increase. Poison shot, 10% increase in all damage, right? Air slash from the wind and light, 10% damage increase. The water Pierrette again, her 3rd skill, 11% damage increase. All of you Pierrette users are gonna love that. Okay, well, Fire Pierrette, Wheel of Fire, stuns with a 20%. Now it's a 30% chance. Wind Pierrette, Spinning Slash, decreases defense with a 20%, now it's a 50% chance on our 3rd skill. Light Pierrette, Rapid Fire, damage is increased by 6%. All of the Phantom Thief's 1st skill, damage increased by 5%. Phantom Thief, thank you, the Wind one got a buff finally, and the Dark one. On that 2nd skill, the Surprise Visit that stuns on crit, damage increased by 9%. The Water, the Wind, and the Light Ninja that do that 2nd skill that reduces the attack bar, change to damage proportionate to attack speed. That's decent, because right now, currently, I can read you off the skill, because it didn't actually say what it is proportionate to. It's just proportionate to attack power, that's all it says. Okay. Well, it reduces the attack gauge by 30%, single target, so now it's going to be proportionate to attack speed. That's pretty good. Fire and Dark, Dragon Attack, the one that they have on their, I think it's like the second one. I'm sorry, why am I... Okay. It's the second attack. It throws an uppercut punch to an enemy 2 times. Each attack has a 25% chance to stun the enemy. That is what they're talking about. Now it's a 50% chance to stun. Dark Horus. The Dark Horus. The passive now, instead of increase the attack bar by 15%, now it's 25%. Because he has a passive that increases the attack bar for every time an enemy gets a turn. Imp Champion. All of the Imp Champions Spear Charge inflicts continuous damage for 1 turn with a 50% chance on their first skill. I mean, I don't really care for any of the Imp Champions. I don't think any of them are good, but there's some people that might have them that might be happy about this. The Water, Fire, Dark, Spear, their Spear Pierce. Additional effect, inflicts damage, continues damage for 2 turns if you get a critical hit. Imp Champion, Water, Wipeout. Attacks random enemy targets. Now they're changing that to attacks 1 enemy target. Wait. Hold on. I just recognize this because I know Jubagel actually built this guy. So that's actually his 3rd skill. Okay? So his 3rd skill, Wipeout, it charges towards the enemies to randomly attack 5 times, ignores the enemy's defense with a 25% chance. So now it's not gonna be random. It's just gonna be a single target that has a 25% chance to ignore defense, and it hits 5 times. So if I were to put this into a dice calculator right now, honestly, hitting 5 times, it's probably gonna be like, what, around a 60% chance to ignore defense? Around there. It's going to be around like a 60-ish% chance, maybe 70-ish% chance total to ignore defense at least once. I mean, that's pretty decent, depending on his multipliers. Fire Imp Champion, Flamethrower, inflicts continuous damage with a 75% chance, now it's a 100% chance. So we look at the fire one. There was a ball in flames to attack all enemies 2 times and inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns, so now it's going to be a 100% chance. So this is kind of, I mean, it has a high cooldown, so it's not going to be as good as the, you know, like the Grim Reapers, like the Dark and the Water, or even like Beretta. So I still don't think this actually makes him viable. But his 2nd skill pierces the enemy with a spear and inflicts damage proportional to their max HP. So now that he has Spectra's 2nd skill mixed in with like a higher cooldown version of the Grim Reaper's dots. That's not bad at all. That could be actually viable. Imp Champion Wind, his passive is being changed where it stuns with a 25% chance, now it's a 35% chance. Light Imp Champion, Shining Spear, drains life with 30% chance, now it's 100% chance. That makes sense. And then the Dark Imp Champion, they're changing it from a 30% chance to a 50% chance for the continuous damage, and they're increasing the damage by 20%. Okay, now that we're gone past all the Imp Champions, now we can move on. The Mummy, the Water Mummy, is passive, freezes with a 25% chance, now with a 35% chance. Not a lot of people built the Water Mummy, but he's pretty troll unit. Yes, finally! Oh my god, finally. The Water Hell Lady got another buff, definitely needed it. And the Wind Hell Lady, please, yes. Destroys the enemy's max HP by 30%, and now it's going to destroy it by 70%. What the fuck? What? What? Wait. Destroys the enemy's max HP by 30%. Now it's 75%? What? Why? And they increase the damage by 10%. That's pretty much destroying the monster completely. Like, if you really wanted to take that up against like a fire team that has a lot of healing, like Perna, you just destroy Perna all the way down. Oh my god, that could be really lethal. Holy shit. Alright, Wind Hell Lady, Capture. Removes beneficial effects with a 50% chance. It's additional effect. Hold up. I gotta pull up the Wind Hell Lady. Okay, so her capture is her 3rd skill. I'll read you guys the skill. Inflicts great damage and stuns the enemy for 1 turn with a 30% chance. The chance of the enemy being stunned increases as the enemy's HP decreases after the attack. The stun is guaranteed if the enemy has 30% or less HP. So this is like kind of like a Theomar's killer where you can stun the Theomars while he has his Endure proc. But now, additional effect removes the beneficial effects with a 50% chance. If this applies after the damage, that could be pretty much a Theo killer guaranteed. Ooh. Attacks 1 time on his first on that 3rd skill, but now it's attacks 5 times. Ooh, that's a Theomar's killer right there. Boom. Multi-hit. Removes beneficial effects just like Escher, but now she's stunned too. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my god. That is pretty nasty. That wind hell lady and the water hell lady got big buffs, guys. Big buffs. The light Yeti is now his skill is no longer an actual skill, but instead it's a buff now. So if we pull up the light Yeti, his third skill increases your attack power for 2 turns. For the next 3 turns, you have a 50% chance to counterattack whenever an ally is attacked. But it's a passive skill. The passive now reads counterattacks with a 50% chance when attacked. That's actually gonna make that Artamiel stage not that bad at all. Fire Chimera Collapse increases damage proportionate to the target's max HP. That doesn't do anything. That still doesn't do anything. Because where are you gonna use Recon? It's you. Com2S. I say this out of the bottom of my heart. You're running Recon. You're like dragging him across the ground. I don't know, man. I just don't like... That's not a good buff. I mean, the Hell Ladies, you really gave him justice, but the Chimera, man. I mean, it increases damage proportion to the target's max HP. I mean, that could be like a Perna. It's gonna do a lot more damage because it's increasing the damage proportionate to the target's max HP. It still does damage based on your own max HP. So now it's based on both target max HP. So this could be good against like Chasun defenses and stuff like that. Guild Wars, of course. You're not gonna use this in Arena. But still, it's not the same as like a Perna. It could be decent. I mean, he self-buffs. We gotta wait and see. The skill levels of some monsters have been changed. So now, Polar Queen's third skill, the Dark One, skill modification increases damage. They changed it to increase his recovery amount for the skill ups. Okay. Alright. Yes, finally, AI has been improved for everything. Archangel, Fire, Sanctuary. This AI will now use the skill more often based on how many harmful effects are on the allies. Oh my gosh. Veligil needed a buff. He definitely needed a buff. The Wind in the Dark Bearmans will use their AI for more cleansing. Same with the Dark Bounty Hunter, more cleansing. Wind Penguinite, more cleansing for his third skill. Light Penguinite, more cleansing. Wind Battle Mammoth, more cleansing. Yeah, these are all cleansers, guys. If you guys are like, oh, I have no cleansers. Yeah, these are all cleansers. Light Sea Emperor, Pontos, more cleansing. Wind Undyne, with her immunity, modified the AI to be activated more frequently according to the ally's HP and the harmful effects granted on the ally. So this basically means she'll be using her immunity more often as like a heal now. So not just for immunity, but also as a heal. The Wind Dragon, so Jameyer, he'll use his Illusion of Time, modified the AI to be activated more frequently according to the remaining skill cooldown of the ally monsters. So basically, the more monsters you have on your team with less, skills that are activated or ready to be activated, then the more often he'll use his Illusion of Time. I know the Wind Dragon, Jameyer, does not use that third skill too often. It's just kind of random. Katarina is getting a buff as well. The Wind Valkyrie, modify the AI to be activated whenever the monster is under invincibility effects. So now it's like a guaranteed chance to use her third skill when she has invincibility on. That's actually pretty decent. I know a lot of people that are going to be happy about that. Some skill errors have been fixed. So this is just skill errors of the things not activating. So let's go ahead and read some of the ones that actually matter. Dark Martial Cat doesn't really matter. Light Archangel, fix the issue so that it's activated when you get a critical hit during multi-hit attacks, even when it's not the last hit. Okay, so this is a thing. A lot of things where it's like Rena's passive, it doesn't activate if the critical hit is not the last hit. So the Archangel, Light Archangel, doesn't do that either. So, but Rena's not in here for that either. So multi-hit crits, it only counts the last crit, but not for the Archangel. All of the Kung Fu Girls, the first skill, fix the issue of the skill icon being displayed when defeated by the reflected damage before skill 2 is activated. I have no idea what that's talking about. I never saw that issue. Dark Martial Artist, you guys can read that one. That's not that big of a deal. The Water Ifrit, Theomars, fix the issue of the passive skill not being activated due to the low frames and lag. I've never seen that happen either. Okay. Light Panda Warrior, never seen the skill issue because I've never seen him in action. Fix the issue with Horse's Dark skill, tip of the spear passive being activated differently in auto/manual mode. Okay, so it's just two LD Nat 5s kind of just fucking each other over in the way that their skills work. But again, wouldn't know because I don't have either of those. Water Panda Warrior, fix the issue of the caster's HP being consumed more when the target has a shield or shield rune. Okay, that makes sense as well. And then everyone, wait. I think they mixed this up. This is supposed to be the Light Werewolf and the Water Jack-o'-lantern, but they just have it like, all weird. Okay, so fix the issue of the critical rate not working properly in the later text in certain situations when the received critical attack rate effect has been removed. Alright guys, if you guys want to read this over, I definitely suggest you guys go take a look. I know I'm on the CompTOS website right now, but all you have to do is click in your top left corner, right below your name and icon on your game. It'll say Notice. Then you're going to go ahead and click on that, and you're going to hit Developers Notes, and it'll have all of the updates that are going to be soon to come. You can go ahead and check there, or you can, I'm sorry, not Developers Note, it says Notice, okay? And it'll have right on the Notice icon all of the notices on future updates, okay? The Developers Notes are just about big updates, but if you click on the Notice tab with the Notice, it's like a little sign. It'll say all of the notice, like all of the news tabs, right? And it should say pre-notice, monster skill, balancing, changes, and improvements. I highly suggest you guys go take a look. A lot of buffs here, mostly Nat 5s and, you know, a lot of the Nat 4s that just no one builds. So the Kung Fu Girls, I'm telling it now, I'm calling it now, the Kung Fu Girls have gotten one of the biggest buffs ever, okay? That defense break on the first skill, and then the second skill doing slowness, now makes them very viable for stuff like Rift, like R5. It also makes, you know, stuff like Faye. Faye is going to be very, 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 very freaking OP in Necro and in R5. Holy shit. Oh my god, she's so good too. Alright, so I'm really glad that they buffed these monsters, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I still don't think that I think the Wind Fairy King might be a bit better now. He definitely needed it. The Fire Fairy King got a bit of a increase in, like, buff, like, for the damage and, of course, the cooldown, but I still don't think it's working properly for the skill. But let me know what you guys think for for you guys that do have these monsters, and hopefully this is something that you guys enjoyed. I'm really happy about this update. Alright, guys. I will see you all later.